this afternoon. I'm amazed that the EFF hasn't called its chief, Floyd Shivambu, to order unless some of its other leaders think exactly as he does. There's a problem with having a high-profile representative in your party who's a lawmaker in Parliament, but who's clearly having some trouble respecting the very constitution he's supposed to be upholding as an MP. The man is clearly racist and misogynistic. We saw him call a woman a white bitch before, and he's obviously violent. We saw him trying to throttle a journalist just going about his job in the parliamentary precinct a few months ago. Now Shivambu's confirmed our suspicions about his discriminatory behaviour by turning his sights on National Treasury's Deputy Director General Ismail Momoniat. Now, Shivambu is entitled to object to Momoniat's conduct. He may very well believe that Momoniat is arrogant or supercilious. He may disagree with his opinions and the policy that he spouts forth as he sits before Parliament's Finance Committee. As an MP, Floyd Shivambu is right to hold Ismail Momoniat to account, as he would any other member of the executive. But the sweeping generalizations and racial stereotyping that occur in his statement are patently out of kilter with an educated man. He makes the assumption that Momoniat has usurped the powers of Treasury by speaking on its head's behalf. If you'd heard Momoniat's immediate boss, Dondo Mogajane, speak to Karima Brown on 702 last night, you would have heard that the head of Treasury was at Parliament yesterday, but he was caught up in the work of another committee and couldn't be at two places in one time. So he sent his deputy to represent the department and to speak on his behalf. The two of them have had a close working relationship for a long time, so there's definitely a history of trust between the men. So where does Floyd Shivambu get off making the ignorant assumption that Momoniat is acting unilaterally and telling his boss and other highly qualified senior African officials what to think and say? There's only one explanation for it. Floyd Shivambu is a racist. And yes, it is possible for black people to be racist and to turn that racism on other black people who fall within the definition of being black. A case in point is the racism that was turned on African people a few days ago over the issue of whether Cape Town International Airport should be named after Winnie Madikizela Mandela or not. Once upon a time, when largely black people were fighting the apartheid government, Africans, Indians, and coloureds were all considered black. Many of us still identify that way. This racial sectarianism that's being fostered by inequality in the country and thoughtless statements is only serving to drive a deeper wedge between the groups that have historically collectively identified as black. Let's put aside the fact that Ismail Momoniat is a struggle veteran who's earned his stripes alongside his contemporaries like Praveen Gordhan. This issue, anyway, is more about EFF identity and what it stands for. There seems to be a fear within the party that if it doesn't serve populist interests, it'll cease to be relevant and stop appearing to be radical, because that's how certain disillusioned young people understand radicalism. But being revolutionary isn't the same as being racist. Discriminating against other people because of the color of their skin or their cultural backgrounds doesn't make you radical. It makes you as bad as the guys who devised and implemented apartheid.
Joanne Joseph.